Please stand for pledges and prayer. Worldview. You guys probably hear your teachers say that word a lot. But what does it really mean? Do you know? If you said it's how we view the world around us, you're right. But it's also much, much more than that. A worldview is like a mental map that we use to navigate the world around us. This mental map affects the thoughts we think, the words we say, and the things that we do. All people have a worldview, but we want to make sure our worldview glorifies God. As you all know, our theme this year is All In, and it comes from Colossians 3:23, which says, "In everything you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord and not for men." Well, we really want you guys to be able to do that, but we can't be all in without a correct worldview. Today, we're going to do an exercise to help us think in the way God wants us to think. But first, we have a Bible verse to show you. Romans 12:2 says, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what is God's perfect will, His good, pleasing, and perfect will." When God made you in His image, He gave you a mind to be able to understand who He is and to be able to think about the things you experience in life. When you understand who God is, this helps you to think about the world in the ways He wants you to think about it, because of His perfect love for you and for all of mankind. And how do we understand who God is? That's right, the Bible. So today we're going to do some thinking exercises to help you think about the world and the way that God wants you to think about it. I've got some optical illusions for you. First, I'm going to show you a couple of pictures, and I want you to tell me what you see. When you know, shout it out. You're welcome, teachers. Okay. Here's the first one. I'll let you take a closer look. Three, two, one. All right, now, what did you see? Did you see an older woman whose hair is falling in front of her eyes with a hat on? Or did you see a younger woman looking that way? Here's her eyelash, and there's her nose. I'll let you take a closer look. Can you see both now? That's pretty cool, right? Okay, I've got another one. I like this one a little better. All right, take a look. Three, two, one. Okay, so let's see if you saw both this time. If you saw one, that's okay. It always takes me a while. Did you see a woman whose eyes are here and her hair is over here? Here's her chin and mouth. Or did you see a saxophone player? There's his nose, there's the saxophone, he's holding it. There's his feet. He's playing some jazz. That's pretty cool, right? In the first two pictures, what you saw depended on your perspective. In other words, your answer depended on how you looked at it, the picture. There wasn't really a right or a wrong answer in the first exercise, but most often in our life experiences, there are right ways and wrong ways to see a situation. And this is why our worldview is so important to help us see the world in the way God wants us to see the world. In this next set of pictures, there is a right answer and a wrong answer. And we'll be able to use a special tool to help us know the right way of viewing each picture. Okay, here's the first one. When you look at this picture, which line do your eyes tell you is the longest? The first line? The second line? The third one? Which one is longest? All right, let's check with our special tool. A ruler. The cool thing about a ruler is that it's never wrong. We could use it incorrectly, but if we use it the right way, it's always going to give us the right answer. All right, so let's check. Make sure I've got it all sorted out. I'm going to use centimeters. I want to make sure that my line starts on the 0, not before it, and goes to the, maybe let's try inches. All right. Well, it's not perfect either way. Okay, so, there we go. This line is 5 1/4 inches. 5 1/4 inches for the top line. Let's check this one. This line is, that's weird. This line is also 5 1/4 inches. Okay, this one must be the longest. Oh, something wrong with this ruler. This one is also 5 1/4 inches. Okay, well, that's okay. I've got another exercise for us. So, alright. In this picture, which circle do you think is the biggest? The circle on the right or the circle on? Oh no, haha, just kidding. Yeah, the circle on the right or the circle on the left. I had it backwards in my head for a second. Alright, take a look. Alright, let's get our ruler. Here we go. I gotta measure in inches. Let's see, this one is, to me this one looks like it's the smallest. This one is 15/16 of an inch. Okay? Now let's measure this one. This one is also 15/16 of an inch. Yep, the ruler is right every time. My eyes tricked me again, but the ruler told the truth. Now what about you? Did you need to use the ruler again? That's okay. We should use a ruler every time because the ruler will always tell us the truth about measurement. As Christians, we have a tool that will always help us to see the right answer too. You know what it is? That's right, it's the Bible. Just like the ruler, my Bible will never lie to me. It will always tell me the truth about how God sees my situation and about how He wants me to see it. Remember how I was pointing to one of the lines earlier? I was trying to trick you. I already knew the correct answer. I know. I'm a great actor. Now let's get back to Romans 12:2, because there's a few things I want you to see. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what is God's will, His good, pleasing, and perfect will. You see, when I pointed to the wrong answers, I was trying to trick you. In the same way, the world will try to trick you if you don't have a biblical worldview. The first part of the verse says, do not be conformed. I wanted you to conform or change your way of thinking about the picture to my way of thinking about it. I wanted you to see it like I saw it. Whenever life starts to get confusing, the next part of the verse tells us how we get a new way of thinking. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Renewing means to make something new. The truth in the Bible gives us a brand new way to think about the world in the same way that God thinks about it. Finally, this verse tells us that our new way of thinking about the world will help us test the things we experience, like a ruler helps us to measure. Here's the final part of the verse. Then you will be able to test and approve what is God's will. If we know what God teaches us in the Bible, we will be more able to think like God wants us to think in every situation. Let's sing one more song together, and then I'll have a final thought to share. Today's chapel was all about how we can use the mind God gave us to think in a new way by having His worldview. We can do this by reading the Bible often and by knowing what it says about the sticky situations we can sometimes find ourselves in. Remember when I was pointing to the wrong answer in the second exercise? Well, how many of you thought I was trying to trick you a second time, so you didn't choose the one that I was pointing to? That's great. Just like that exercise, when we experience something many times and we've already practiced using God's worldview in that situation, it becomes easier and easier to test and know the choice that will glorify Him. So the next time you have a memory verse, remember, it's about so much more than passing a quiz. That verse helps you know the words of God so you can think like Him when you look at the world around you. Teachers, if you have some time in your classroom today, have a conversation about the sticky situations in which we might need to call on our biblical worldview. I hope you guys have a great day.